The Human Torch, the fiery hothead of the Fantastic Four, is a ranged flying duelist in Marvel Rivals. This fiery hothead is a teamfight controller. His entire kit is built around making the zone dangerous for enemies to hang out in, burning enemies out from areas, creating dangerous terrain, and slamming down to environments, knocking enemies back. He's all about full control over the battlefield, and a good Human Torch is going to be really oppressive and has to be prioritized down by range damage dealers. His basic attack, Fire Cluster, is a shotgun-style fire blast out of his hands. The further this shot goes, the more it spreads out, and the more it spreads its damage out across targets, where when you're closer up to a target, you're more likely to land all the shots where you want them. This ability can headshot, but based off the distances you're going to probably be playing Human Torch at, you're not likely to get too many effective headshots with this ability. But if somebody does get up close and personal, flaming shotgun headshots are really going to wipe them out. This basic attack has 6 shots, but the reload is a little bit different than other characters. Unlike having a regular reload that you have to do, he constantly regains ammunition over time. You can track your current ammo a little bit faster by the flames in the center of your screen. This is going to show you how many shots of your basic attack you currently have available, and you can see the refresh of these rather quickly as you're using your abilities. For the most part, you're going to be ducking around and hurling these things into the enemy team, using the chip damage to charge up your ultimate and to just burn targets for a little bit of damage. Your secondary fire is really the core to your kit. This blazing blast throws out a fiery ball that slams down on the ground and creates a patch of fire, burning targets that are nearby. Several of your other abilities are going to interact with the secondary fire, so making sure you're hurling out these flaming patches along the arena is going to be critical. This ability does have charges that you're going to have to keep track of, knowing how many of these flaming piles you can shoot out. You don't want to be wasting these at times that you're not going to be able to get out multiple to be able to take full advantage of them, so make sure you store them up, only shooting one at a time just to keep the cooldown rolling, until you're ready for a big team fight where you're going to be using all of them. Pyro Prism is your E ability, and what it does is link all of your existing flame fields on the arena together. Walls of flame are going to release from each of the flame fields, connecting to the others. All enemies within these flaming walls are going to take constant damage over time. The field you can create with your prison is actually huge. You can have your flames pretty far apart and attach them all together as long as you're able to maintain them on the fight. Putting out 4 fields and creating a large square of damage is the ideal kind of playstyle that you're going to be going for, and you're going to want to be creating as large of a box as you possibly can to keep enemies inside longer and have it be more area that they don't feel like they can be safe in. But it can be a little bit tricky to pull off. If there's ever a break in line of sight between your flames, you don't actually link them together. This can often make it so you only create a line or possibly a triangle instead of the square that you were going for. Make sure when you're putting down these flames, you have better control over the area that you're placing them and know where the links are going to come from. So setting this up on top of an objective and then burning all enemies inside it is going to decimate your enemy team. Flaming Meteor is your F ability. This is going to cause you to ignite and slam down on the ground in front of you. At your slam location, you're going to stun and knock back all enemies hit. This can do a decent knockback and could potentially even knock enemies off of the map as we see in the trailer, but it's rather hard to pull off. This move is pretty handy to keep enemies within your flame field. If enemies start to try to run out of it, you can slam down on them, pushing them back into the center of the field. This is a really good execute move for Human Torch, and you should be utilizing this when there's multiple lowish health targets that you can slam down on, stunning them, dealing extra damage, and hopefully being able to take them out with a couple of extra shots. Plasma Body is the shift ability, and this allows the Human Torch to gain a burst of movement speed. You'll flame on and be able to ascend quite quickly, zipping around the battlefield. Your ultimate ability is Supernova. You'll blast out with increased heat, dealing damage to nearby targets. Then for the duration, whenever you use your right-click clusters, instead of creating a flame field, it's going to create a flaming tornado. You're going to be able to have multiple of these tornadoes out, and they're going to do major damage to the enemy team if you can keep them locked down into the area. This is a really rewarding ultimate, and it feels really good sending flaming tornadoes throughout the arena. Johnny's got 2 different team-up abilities. First one is supplied by the Invisible Woman. Whenever his sister's in the match, he can activate a special ability to gain temporary hit points as long as he's lost some health. This will be a continuous increase of these bonus hit points over a short duration. At any point you start to take damage, you can pop this ability to gain bonus health and make it harder for enemies to take you out. A reliable but not make or break team-up. His other team-up is with Storm, and this one is outrageous. When both he and Storm are on a team, he can activate Omega Fire, allowing her ultimate to turn into a giant flaming tornado. If the Human Torch is in his ultimate form and Storm ults, he can activate a special ability to turn her tornado into a flaming tornado that does increased damage over time. Any of his existing fire tornadoes on the map that get caught in her Omega Hurricane will increase in size and deal more damage. This is devastating and can even melt enemies through major healing ultimates if you have enough fire tornadoes and Storm all on top of the targets. Overall, the Human Torch is a fantastic damage dealer. He plays really intuitively, and you're just creating flaming fields to burn your enemies all the time. The fire-based themes are really iconic, and it feels really good playing this character. His hot-headed nature and slamming down to the enemy team feels really cool, but has a higher skill cap, and using this at the wrong time is going to get you killed. Make sure to stay back a bit, hurling out flames and creating your flame fields as needed. Trying not to take too much attention upon yourself, because the longer you can keep the arena dangerous for your enemy team, the more effective you're going to be. You're definitely going to be weak to hit scan style snipers like Hela, who are going to wipe you out really quickly if they see you flying about in the air, so you might need to fly a little bit lower down when playing against these characters. Your basic attack deals a really good chunk of damage, allowing you to duel pretty well. But you don't really have any defensive abilities or any ways to heal yourself, so it can be really dangerous trying to scrap with a target. Now zip around the field, hurl flames, and decimate your enemies as the Human Torch. I hope this guide helps you figure out how to master this new burning character. In the next guide, we're going to talk about the other new character, The Thing. The Thing is a Vanguard, who specializes in both initiation and in protecting his backline team. He is more of an off-tank and not a block tank like Magneto or Strange. But we'll talk more about that next time.
Zaze.